Hey, this is Holly from HollyLynn.com. Feeling a little bit rushed today. This is what it's like when you don't, when you have 4 kids in your house. You have to go out to your car to shoot your video. So hopefully no one's going to come rapping on my door here, but I sort of feel like they will. Okay, so I was cut off last time when I was talking about human design versus some other religious cult. And I did lose my train of thought a little bit, but my friend Gio kind of brought it back into focus. So the concept is, does human design give you the option of free will? Like, where is free will in this idea of human design? I recently read that human design is like a cross between the Myers-Briggs and astrology, which is really interesting. So if you take a look at it from that, the thing that Myers-Briggs does not account for, actually, that human design does, is Myers-Briggs does not account for conditioning. So conditioning meaning somebody has a certain, they've adopted basically other people's principles into their own personality, specifically like, parental kind of social norms or community social norms, because you're not doing the Myers-Briggs on someone when they're like, 5. It's usually when they're 20 and 40 years old, just after all these layers. I just don't feel like you can get an accurate telling using the Myers-Briggs, because it doesn't account for all these things that you've adopted over time, and human design does. So human design sounds really woo-woo when I talk about it at first. So the beginning of human design sounds pretty woo-woo. There's this guy named Alan. He was like a freaking school teacher, like an English school teacher in Spain. He was teaching English, and he had a download from this voice for like 8 days, and like it was like super complex and like whatever, blah, blah, blah. But out of it came a formula, and here's this man who's this simple teacher guy. Came this super complex formula that calculated where everything was, that can calculate where everything was when you were born. And so when you came out of your mom's body, and when your soul imparted into your body when you were in utero. So it's based on two figures. So what it does is it looks at the neutrinos, which is super cool, because this Alan guy, he's now called Ra, he actually was talking about neutrinos before they were like a thing. And now the scientific community is like super excited, because they used to think neutrinos were like nothing, and it turns out actually they're not nothing. And so anywho, so these neutrinos have passed through like the solar systems, and they pass through literally everything. Like nothing stops them, so they pass through everything. So they imprint on you when your personality, when your soul, which Ra never uses the word soul, when that part comes into this form, this like earthly form. And then again, when you come out of your mom's body, it takes it into an account what neutrinos were imprinting at that moment as well. So you take that calculation, and it produces a body graph, which, damn it, I don't have here. Okay, so it produces body graph, right? That body graph is a picture of how energy flows within your specific body. Okay. And so, and in the true itself, it's where you uniquely have access to consistent energy. There's like, oh my God, 69,000 different calculations or something. There's like, 69,000 plus variables of imprinting. And so it's like massive. So anyway, it's like really uniquely you. And so getting back to Gio's question. So yeah, okay, here's this chart that says I have the will, I have consistent access to be able to use my voice. I have consistent access to know what keeps me safe in the moment, to that intuition. But I don't have consistent access, let's say, to willpower. So his question in terms of what differentiates human design from like any other religion type of thing is that you don't have to follow your body graph at all. Like, and in fact, that's the whole thing. People really don't, because they don't know about it. And so you have these people who are, plugging along at life, and they're being conditioned by all these social mores, like, just do it. And, you should always set goals, blah, 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 blah. So you have these people who are setting their life up by these like external, like authority norms, right? And even, churches thrown in there that, okay, well, we make decisions based on like what the church says and, that kind of thing. So in one sense, you're like outsourcing all of your decision-making abilities and how you live your life to something that's outside of you. So what human design shows people is that, hey, this is how human design says you can best use your energy. Like, these are pathways that are going to create less resistance for you. So for instance, if your human design body graph shows that you are a projector, then that means the best use for your energy is going to be to not verbally vomit your opinion and your knowing on everybody who you come across. So as a projector, you actually have limited energy. And so it's the best use of your energy is to save that energy and refine it and only use it when you're asked to use it by somebody else. And even then, only if your body says to. So, as opposed to if you have a manifestor's chart, then as a manifestor, it shows that you have the energy, consistent access to the energy to be able to go and initiate a bunch of stuff. So my daughter, she's a manifestor, and she can go off in her high school, no problem at all, not draining to her at all. She can go there and be like, listen, we're going to start this club. I'm going to start this club. Whoever wants to join, great. But if not, that's cool because I'm doing it. I'm doing it whether you like it or not. I'm going to start this club. And, you know, you can join if you want to. And I need help with this, this, and this, and this. And so if I were to go do that, I would be shooting myself in the foot. I have done that. And it has not worked out well for me at all. Which is why human design is really validating, because instead of, oh, there's nothing wrong with me because I can't look like that type of leader, like my daughter. There's nothing wrong with me. It's not that I don't have good enough goals, or it's not that my vision isn't clear enough, or that the reason why I'm doing it isn't strong enough, which is what all the fucking sales books tell you, right? And all the psychological, all that shit. They all tell you that. No, it's not because my why isn't strong enough. It's because I don't fucking have the energy to go do it. And so to do it like that, to show up in the way in which my daughter, my manifesting daughter, does. So, yeah, I have free will to totally act like my daughter. And according to human design, there are physical consequences in our body oftentimes that happen when we use our energy in a way in which it doesn't honor our actual body energy. And so, you know, sometimes people get sick. Sometimes I feel bitter when people don't listen to me. Other people feel frustrated when they're out of alignment. And so, anyway, I kind of forgot what else he said, so I'm going to have to go check it. I didn't write this down, so I'm going to go take my kids to the gym. But anyway, so this is like part 2 of why is human design different from like some, specifically because I guess I know what it's like to be in a healthy church. I was in a healthy church for 3-ish years. It was a really great time of healing. And then I moved. So, but, so anyway, this is part 2, and there's going to be a part 3, so I can make sure that I go back and ask and find his question. But, and then again, this could be nothing, and I could be wasting my time just like I did. Here's the thing. Even when I was a part of the cult church, it was not a waste of time. And while I have definitely had to work through some bitterness from that, you know, in one sense, it gave me the experience that made me who I am today. That experience made me choose and it made me evaluate what I really believe and how, yeah, and who I want to do life with and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I don't necessarily regret it. And so, you know, human design is another thing that's come across my path that has my attention for the moment. It may not always have my attention. But it does right now. And Yeah. Okay. That's it. Bye.